I'm glad that we cooperate about raw materials idea, because if the crisis, raw materials crisis will come, it will be more stronger, more expensive than gas, than oil crisis, and more deeper, because raw materials strongly related by high-level technologies, strongly related by climate change issues, strongly related by competitiveness, and strongly related by standard of living.
We are just now negotiating the program between the Parliament, the Council and the Commission. So this is a very timely discussion also for the future. And also adding that we are in the Parliament about to start our negotiations on a new report, the new strategy Reindustrializing Europe. We will see where those negotiations lead, but I'm convinced that you can't have much a strategy without a clear focus on the supply and smart use of raw materials.
We consume about 64 billion tons of raw materials entered the economic system in Europe in 2010, and that will go to 82 billion by 2020. But if you bring that down to sort of per capita level, it means that each of us is today consuming per year, I don't know if it's each of us individually consuming, but per capita the consumption of materials in Europe is about 16 tons per year. Of that, we're generating about 6 tons of waste, and about half of that, so about 3 tons, is just going directly to landfill.
The Commission has identified the challenges of raw materials and proposed a three-pillar-based approach on raw materials. The 3 pillars are how to ensure the external aspect, how to ensure a fair and sustainable supply of raw materials from the outside world. The second pillar is how to get sustainable supply of raw materials within the European Union from EU sources. And the third is how to boost resource efficiency and promote recycling.
I think another common misconception is the idea that our minerals and metals reserves are being depleted. It's not the case. The reserve is a very specific term. Reserve refers to ore in the ground that we can mine today with the technology of today at today's prices. In fact, according to some definitions, reserves are only those ore bodies that are permitted already for extraction. So it's a very small part of what's available. And what people may sometimes struggle to understand is that the mining industry is continually increasing the reserves.
What I'm saying that renewable and no renewable do not exist. No, no, no. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, yes, exist renewable and not renewable resources. That's perfect. But the kind of hierarchy that today you give to those words do not anymore mean what we, in our world of today, are trying to reach in terms of sustainability, in terms of sustainable and non-sustainable resources. So there are some resources that are sustainable and others that are not.
Quite recently in Sweden there has been a strategic research and innovative agenda for Swedish mining and metal producing industry. We are a partner of this strategic agenda together with some other major metal companies. This is run by universities, but there are several industrial companies which are partners to this agenda. This agenda are based on 7 agendas, and areas included in this agenda involve deep innovative exploration, it involve mining, mineral processing, recycling, reclamation and environmental performance, active workplaces, and gender equal mining.
Energy consumption is rising all over the world, and most of this energy is produced by fossil fuels, some by uranium, and still a small part by renewable energy. Mining and mineral processing consumes a lot of energy. It is estimated that only for milling minerals, about 4% of the whole energy consumption is used worldwide. And energy is one of the main, if not the main, cost factors for mineral processing.
In the future, happens that Framework Program 7 will come to an end of the year. We will have Framework Program 8 that we call Horizon 2020, because different spirit, different kind of framework program. So this topic will be in. So the messages will be in, and then the classical question with how much money? And then I can tell you that will be with million euros. We don't know the money.
During the past century, the sulfide minerals in aqueous media basically with the wet chemistry observations and application of some equilibrium thermodynamics. And then the mid-20th century, adopting some concepts of colloid surface chemistry and electrochemistry principles. And then recently some surface chemistry has been, surface physics have been introduced, but they are not very much involved in research activity with the sulfide minerals.
We have to think on each individual step on resource efficiency. That means already from the design phase, can we do more with less? So can we, for instance, going from micro-sized particles to nano-sized particles with the same performance? If we are looking to batteries, for instance, can we do more performance with a smaller battery? So this is already in the design phase that we have to think about efficiency. And then, of course, in the lifetime, the model of leasing materials could indeed stimulate the efficiency of the use instead of buying and throwing away.
As you know, all of the raw material is coming from the mining activities. And the world production of the mines is increasing every year. It was in 2011, 95 billion tons, the world production. Turkey is a semi-arid plateau between the Eurasian and the African continents. Mining history of Turkey can be traced back to 7,000 before Christ.
The effect that increase have in our economies has two sides. A brilliant one, because we are having more capitals, a flow of capitals. We're having more profits for the national budgets, for our development. But in the other hand, there is also a problem related to, first, the primarization of our industries. Second, the environment. Third, the energetic problems that we're facing.
For a number of reasons that's beyond the scope of today's discussion, recent global demand and supply shifts have altered the dynamics within some raw material markets, resulting in insufficient supply to meet growing demand. In the U.S., the Obama administration is committed to reducing the demand for and at the same time increasing the supplies of raw materials.
Mining is an important part of our economy. It is only 7% of our GDP. It represents 220,000, or employs 220,000 people, which is actually a fairly small proportion of the employment market. It drives investment at the moment. We have well, in April 2012, we had 104 mining projects that had been through the board approval phase, and that represents about $173 billion worth of mining projects, with another 350 projects sort of still going through approval processes. And next year we expect mining investment to reach a record 8% of GDP.